everyone, it's me Dee from Dzcrochetcreations. It's been a while since I've done a YouTube tutorial, and I have decided that I've missed it so much that I'd like to come back and start doing some more. So for the first tutorial in a while, I've decided to do a beanie, a brimmed beanie. I get asked about these quite often. This is like the first beanie I ever learned how to make years and years and years ago, and I made tons of them for babies, newborn babies. This is a very easy hat to adjust and make bigger or smaller. And you're basically working it flat and then you stitching it together to make it in the round. Very, very easy. I'm not sure if there's other tutorials out there, but since I had been asked about them, I decided to go ahead and make a tutorial. You can either wear it with a brim or you can unfold it and wear it as a slouchy beanie. These are one of my favorite beanies to wear. I like to make them. They're pretty quick to make up, and then I love to wear them for myself. So this yarn is a 4-ply yarn. It is, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. It's in the colorway Surf's Up. I seen it and I liked it. I went ahead and just put my label back on it, so that way when I store it away I know what it is and where it's at and how much of it I have left. So you need that. You're gonna need some scissors, a yarn needle, and of course you're gonna need your hook. I'm gonna go ahead and use a size J hook for this, and it's a 6.00 millimeter. All right, let's get started. So this beanie is a very easy beanie to adjust for sizes. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. It just depends on the number of chains that you start with. It's a very simple beanie and it's just easy to do. And then as far as rows go, just depending on how big or small the head is that you're making it for, you'll either keep going more rows or you just won't go as many rows. It'll all make sense in a moment, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our slip knot. I make my slip knot by holding my yarn like this. I twist it, I pull the longer piece through, and then I pull it, stick my hook in, and then here we go. For this beanie size, I'm gonna be chaining 47. It's a good size for my head, and if I don't wanna wear the brim, it makes a good slouchy for me. I'm gonna have 46 stitches, so I want to chain 47 just to be able to turn my chain. So here we go. There's 1, 2, 3, and if I go too fast for you guys, please feel free to hit the pause button. I know sometimes it seems like I'm going fast. I do crochet a lot faster than what I am now, but if it seems too fast for you and you are a beginner, please just hit the pause button and hit your 15 seconds backwards, just so that way you can keep up. I was on 1, 2, 3, so I'm on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna pause the video here. I'm gonna go to the end and I will meet you there. Again, we want to chain 47. Here I am on chain 43. I want to go to 47, so this is 44, 45, 46, and 47. So from here, I want to do half double crochets. Now I know a lot of people would put an extra chain in there. I do not. I know that that's not always correct, but for me it works out perfectly. So what I'm going to do from here is in each chain going back, I'm going to do a half double crochet. So half double crochet into the second chain from the hook. So we're not going to crochet into this chain. We're going to crochet into this chain, which is second chain from the hook. And we're going to be doing a half double crochet. And then again, we want to half double crochet in each chain across. So I'm going to continue on with a half double crochet. And at the end, we should have 46 half double crochets. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And from here I'm going to go ahead and crochet the rest. I will meet you down toward the end, and again you want to have 46 half double crochets, half double crochet in each chain across. I will meet you at the end. Okay, so I am on 40. I'm going to continue to 46. So half double crochet into the next chain, which is 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, and 46. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm only going to chain one. I'm only going to chain one because I found for me that it makes a more even edge. A lot of people would chain two if they're doing a half double or a double, but I only will be chaining one. Once I chain one, then I'm going to turn my work, and from here on out we're going to be working in the back loops only. So here we go, a chain one, I'm going to turn, and now in each stitch across I'm going to work in the back loops only, a half double crochet. So here we go with one. In the back loops, here's your stitch up here on top, and the back loops, you want to work into those. Here's your stitch up top. You normally would go into the stitch here, but because we have to work in the back loops only, we're going to wrap our yarn. We're going to go into the back loop in the center and down, out the back, and we are going to do our half double crochet, and we are going to do that in each stitch across. So wrap your yarn, go into the next half double crochet back loop, wrap, pull through, and half double crochet. Again, we want to do that in each stitch across. At the end of your row, you should have 46 half double crochets in the back loop only. I will do a couple more, and then I'll go ahead and meet you at the end. And I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to go ahead and work the rest of my half double crochets in the back loop only, and I will meet you at the end. At the end, I have done 39 half double crochets in the back loop only. I'm going to continue on to the end to make 46. So here I am with 41 or 40. Okay, that was 40. Here's 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, and 46. Now the last stitch can be kind of hard to see, but that's why it's good to count. You always, so a lot of people, when they get to the last one, sometimes it's hard to find, but if you can see, here's the front of the stitch where you would go between. You just kind of want to turn it so you could see it there and work your last half double crochet. Okay, so this pattern becomes pretty redundant. You're gonna, once again, you're gonna chain one, turn your work, and again, you're gonna work a half double crochet in the back loop only of each stitch across. And you want to keep repeating this for 60 rows. So right now we have we have 2 rows. We want to keep repeating this back and forth for 60 rows. I'm going to go ahead and do a few with you. I'll start this row out. I want to do half double crochet in the back loop only of each stitch across. I want a total of 46 across. I'm going to chain one and turn, and I'm going to continue on in this pattern for 60 rows. So I am on my third row, half double crochet in the first stitch, back loop only. That's one. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now I'm just going to continue on. Once again, I'm going to do my half double crochets in the back loop only. I'm going to continue this back and forth for 60 rows. I will meet you at the end of your 60th row. Okay, so here I am at the end of row 38. I know I said to do 60 rows, but now that I got to thinking about it, I probably used a smaller hook size. As I was crocheting my rows, I just would put my edges together and try it on around my head, and 38 rows fit my head pretty well. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop at 38 rows. The best thing for you to do is just keep measuring it around your head, or if you're making it for your child or husband or friend, maybe just get their head size, or with your children you could just keep measuring it around their head, and then just stop at the row that you need to. This is pretty easy to adjust, and it's an easy project. So I went ahead and stopped at row 38. I am on my 40th stitch, so I'm going to go ahead and do my half double crochet in the back loop only. That's 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, and 46. Now remember to make sure you do work the last stitch in the end. Sometimes that could be forgotten, and then our edges don't look so straight, but just make sure to work that in the last. Remember, you need 46, and once you do your 46, you're going to chain one and turn, and this is where we're going to sew or stitch our two edges together. I'm not going to cut my yarn. I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to single crochet across in each stitch. What I like to do though is I keep with working in the back loop only on this row to stitch it together, and you'll see why when we flip it, it just kind of keeps that same pattern going when you do that. So I'm going to go ahead and work in the back loop here. I'm going to get my foundation row. I'm going to work in the foundation chain, and I'm just going to single crochet them together. Again, I'm going to go into the back loop, go into my foundation chain into the next stitch, and single crochet together. Again, I'm going to go into the back loop, my foundation chain, single crochet together, and again, back loop, foundation chain, single crochet together. I'm going to go ahead and repeat that all the way across. When I get towards the end, I will meet you there. Okay, I am at the end. I have stitched both edges together with a single crochet. I have my last 5 to go. Again, I'm going to go into the back loop of my next stitch and into the foundation chain and single crochet, and I'm going to do this till the end. And I'm going to end where my tail is, where I first started everything. I'm going to go ahead and leave that on there because I'm going to use it in the end to tie them together. I'm working in my very last stitch. As you can see, I have one more to go. This is going to be number 46. I'm going to go into that back loop and then the corner of my foundation row and single crochet. Now, instead of cutting this off or tucking it in, I'm just going to leave it to tie the end of this together. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave quite a bit so that way I can scrunch the top of my hat in together. So I'm going to go ahead and leave a pretty good amount. I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. And then I want to go ahead and finish it off, so just gonna pull it through and pull it tight. And then what I want to do is I'm gonna thread my yarn needle. And then I'm just gonna get my edge up here, and I want to run this around the whole edge so that way I can pull it tight and it'll scrunch together. And how we're going to do this is we're like I said, just leave this one there if you were able to end where this is at. If you didn't end where this was at, then all you have to do is just cut this and then you can run it through and then tie both ends together. But if you ended with the tail, that's even better. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to run it through the top edge of my beanie. So I'm just going to go like every few stitches and pull it through again. And you don't have to be perfect, just grab, pull it through, and you're just going to continue that all the way around. And just keep going in the top of it. I'm gonna go ahead and work a few more and I'll meet you toward the end. Here I am getting closer to the end. I'm just gonna keep working every few. And this is where I started, was right here. Here's my tail piece. So I'm just gonna go in a few, I'll just go into this one, and then this is how I can tie it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and pull my yarn needle off, and then what you want to do is you just want to pull this one that you just weaved in and out around the edges. You just want to pull it, and it will start bunching up your beanie at top. You don't want to pull it so hard that you break it, but you do want to pull it enough to where it will enclose it. Sometimes I've pulled them enough to where I've broken them, and then I just have to start over. It's not a big deal. You just have to rethread it. So there it is. It's pretty tight. Now I want to just tie these two ends together. And I always do a double knot. So I'm going to go in again. And right before I pull this tight, I just want to make sure this is tight. And then I'm just going to pull these and secure it. And then I just want to do that a couple more times. I'm going to go 1 and 2, pull tight. And one more time. Just pull real tight, and then instead of cutting it off, I'm going to go ahead and tuck it in a bit. I know this is a small tail, but I'd rather tuck it in just a bit. So I'm going to thread it, and then, I'm sorry, not tuck it in, but weave it in. And I'm just going to weave it through a few stitches here. And if it comes out, it's not a big deal because we knotted it real good. And then I'm just gonna clip this one. And then I'm gonna knot, or I'm gonna thread the needle on this one. And go ahead and weave it in. I'm gonna pick some of these blue stitches here. And just weave it in, a few of these stitches. Oops. And so I'll weave it in a few, I'll pull it. And then what I like to do is go back, pick up two, just kind of like go back from where you were, pick up two, and then weave it down a few more. And go ahead and cut that off. And here you have the inside of your beanie. And this is where, see now I can't, here it is. This is where we single crocheted the two edges together. It's tied up here. So now you just want to stick your hand in your beanie and pull it through. That will become the outside. And you just kind of shape it. And you have your beanie. Now you can wear it like this as a slouchy, or you can fold up the ends. And then the reason why I like to stitch the edges together is because if you notice, it kind of just goes with the pattern it made. This is where it's stitched together, and you kind of can't really tell. It just kind of makes that same pattern across. You can't really tell. But what I like is when you flip it in, you kind of know where the back is. So you know, I always put this to the back of my head because I know that's the back, but it kind of leaves this little bump here so you know. But the nice thing is that you can't really tell that's where you stitched it in. And when you're wearing it, you can't really see it. It kind of just blends in. And then if you would like, you can put yourself a pom-pom up here. You just sew it on. But now you have a hat where you could either wear it as a slouchy, you can wear it folded up, and then you know back here would be the back side. If this doesn't give you enough slouch, you can always go longer. I only did 46 stitches. You can go to 50. If you don't want it slouchy at all and you don't want a brim and you just want to wear it like this, you could even do like maybe 40. If you're making it for a child, you don't really have to do 46. You don't have to do 40. You can probably even go 35. And then you don't even have to go quite as many around. And you can mess around with your hook sizes too. I can use anywhere from an H all the way to a J. Those are my favorite hooks. Those are what I stick to mostly. But yeah, this is really one of my favorite types of beanies to wear. And they're pretty warm. So if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to hit me down below in the comments section. I am also on Instagram. You can see a lot of what I'm making and posting there. Feel free to follow me. I will have all the links down below. Thanks again for following this tutorial. It's so nice to be back, and I do plan to make more, and I can only get better from there. I have missed you guys, and I'm just happy to be doing these again. Thanks so much. Take care.